What is up YouTube, and welcome to this American Horror Stories video breakdown and review. While the show has been hit and miss, last week's Baal episode was the highlight of the season, and this episode was a strong follow-up, albeit it did have some pacing problems. Sadly, Titans Season 3 is out today, and well, I won't be able to cover that, but I will be covering Titans once American Horror Story ends in 2 weeks. Thankfully, Aaron has returned in this episode to redeem himself after that god-awful murder house opener when he wanted mouth and I'm not going to carry on. What is bizarre, however, is that I expected this show to actually have different stories set within the franchise, so we'd see different tales from the Hotel Cortez, the asylum, the circus, maybe some other things, but instead, after the murder house, we quickly span off into a brand new, completely original anthology run. When the episode opened, I thought maybe we were heading to Roanoke to have some more story there, but we're in California and not North Carolina. We open with a married couple heading to a camping spot with their kid. They're stressed with work but come here to unwind and are far from civilization. You know exactly what's going to happen. Now they have a night of wine and rumpy-pumpy, and we see someone going past their tent as they wake up, and the dad and Jacob head out to go fishing, except the son goes missing as the wife sees a ritual sacrifice looking dead deer. Now this is similar to what is known as a missing 411, which someone going missing in the wild or national parks falls under. Jacob is taken quickly, and we jump 10 years into the future where we see a board which Charlie from It's Always Sunny would be proud of. The leading crank theory is that Bigfoot is the cause, but we would later learn that this is all just a ruse. Hey, I'm still holding hope that Bigfoot is there, and I spent ages looking for him in GTA San Andreas. However, it seems the father has dedicated the last 10 years trying to find out who took his son, but the search has been fruitless. Now, this is until Birch comes to visit, and we get a conversation where we learn that the general public seem to think that, yes, he did kill his kid. Birch says he has a photo of the kid and a scout compass that the father gave to Jacob. Of course, we know this is a lie, as he was employed by the growers and possible cartel to put an end to his money problems and bring Jacob's parents to them, possibly to be trafficked and use their credit cards. And, well, he will get to keep the $10,000. Now, for that money, he will lead them to where the photo was taken, but it's fake, and the mother was right as they head out into the woods. The schism between the two parents is briefly explored as they come to a ranger station. Birch warns them against the ranger, saying he's a bit crazy, but this is only because the ranger knows what Birch is like and is up to some dodgy stuff, and he's worried the ranger will warn the parents off them. Now, Cody Fern plays the ranger here, and it was really cool to hear him in his native accent. I loved him in Apocalypse, and again, he nails his role as the friendly neighborhood park ranger. It also reminds me I need to finish Crime Story Versace, but I'm currently going to go through and watch Stranger Things all again because I have nothing else to do. He warns the parents off going with him to the Valley of the Grow-Ops and says how the growers are the worst of their, or at least the least of their worries, but they head off anyway and we get the reveal. It's revealed all of this was a lie and they were scammed, which, kind of makes sense, and Birch loses it when we see the criminals murdered and skinned alive. It seems like, the craziness and the weird monster things are actually real. Now, after he reveals all, we see Birch killed as he tries to kill them and is killed by the feral people, and we see them walk up to him. Now, I say that this isn't a Roanoke story, which it isn't, but it is very much in the similar vein as that. I really, really liked it, and it gave me big Hills Have Eyes vibes, but it was a really, really good episode. But the pacing, in my opinion, did let it down. Now, like the first episode, I do wish that this was a full season, as the latter third was superb when they return and force the ranger to tell them what happened. They've had enough, and he dropped hints that he couldn't actually say anything legally about what happened. He does explain that all of the national parks were set up to contain all of these weird feral people, and that they have sweeps every now and then when they find them to actually wipe them out. Now, funnily enough, this story of feral people living in national parks was a subject of a viral TikTok a few months ago. The idea of feral cannibals living in national parks is nothing new either, as there have been theories of these people for years to rationalise the countless weird missing 411 cases over the years. And this episode did remind me of the reboot of Wrong Turn, which is actually really good. I really recommend checking that out. Now, the Ranger presents many different theories, like mountain men descendants, Civil War veteran recluses, or even Viking descendants, but there's nothing concrete. It's still interesting that the government would contain them in national parks to keep people safe, but also have the parks as a major tourist destination. I found that rationale to be kind of odd. I feel like if this was a full season, the full reveal would be that the government, when they discovered them, made a deal to make sacrifices, which explains the ending. However, the ferals attack and kill the Ranger after he said if they went public, he would deny it. And they find their son sitting on a skull throne. And the instant kind of reveal of him just sitting there really did remind me of that end bit of Hereditary as well. Now, I feel gutted that we wasted so much time at the start when we see the hierarchy of the crazies, which reminded me of The Hills Have Eyes. Jacob is seemingly the king when we presumed he was taken and just eaten, but it seems they worship him and have done over the last 10 years, as he recognises his parents and just says their dinner. My God, that was dark. It's a bit of a muted ending to a very, very cool story, and I would like to have seen more of what who they are and what they are, where they came from, and all that kind of thing. But it was a great episode. I really, really did enjoy it. And I thought that the look of the people, usually they kind of look a bit kitschy when they do all these like mountain men people, but they looked really, really scary. But that is it for this video. I really loved this episode. Let me know what you think down in the comments of this episode. And please do subscribe with notifications on if you want more from us. And I'll see you soon. And goodbye.